Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. Gregory Mannarino, yeah, that's me. All right, look, here's the story. This is my post-market wrap-up on this Monday, March 21st, 2022. A volatile day in the market. Why? Well, as you all know, earlier today when I did my pre-market report, I explained to you and those of you who are naked, yes, I can see you. Anyway, I'm laughing. I'm always having a good time. You have to enjoy life, even during the biggest freak show that has ever been thrown at people in the history of the world. So, yes, we heard from Fed Chair Jay Powell today, old yellow stain himself. Puke stain, more like vomit stain, shit stain? I don't know. Pick one. Well, he rattled the markets today for sure, although nothing major happened. What he said was specifically that inflation is extraordinarily high. Duh. Oh, okay. Let me calm down a moment. And if the Fed needs to do it, the Fed will raise rates more aggressively because you see, raising rates is going to fix the situation. How about no, it's not? It's not even meant to do that. People, look, the lie is yet again being, no. I was going to say double fist fed, but it's not. What they're doing, I told you, the Federal Reserve in one of their back rooms has a big black cast iron pot where they're stirring it. And in that pot is various versions of shit. You understand? Dog shit, cat shit, bird shit. They're just stirring it up and they're breathing it in like that. And then they're having you gulp it. They're pouring it right down your throat and thinking that you're going to buy the crap and drink it at the same time. How about you're not going to do that? You see, the truth of the matter is the Federal Reserve has no intention whatsoever of really making any difference fighting inflation. Again, I covered this. We have inflation today, according to their numbers, at about 8%. Okay, they raised the federal funds rate 1/4%. So now we're somewhere between 0.25 and 0.5. That will not stop inflation from surging. As a matter of fact, it's going to fuel it to surge higher. In order for inflation to come down, well, rates would have to be higher, or the benchmark rate would have to be higher than the actual rate of inflation, which is well over 8%. But let's just use their own numbers, okay? So it's just fake. So what rattled the market today was that statement that, oh yeah, inflation is really bad. It's really bad. And the Fed may get aggressive moving forward. Even if they raise, look, did you see what happened to the 10-year yield today? Let's ponder that for just a moment. When I just looked prior to this lovely video blog, the 10-year yield was 2.3. Okay, we've seen a substantial move higher in the 10-year yield ever since the market started to price in a rate hike. Now, the reason why we get the little jump here higher in the 10-year yield is because now the market's going to start to price in another rate hike, maybe even a 50 basis point rate hike, which will do nothing, zero, to combat inflation. Look what the Fed is doing. Why is it? Tell me again, please. One of you tell me again right here in the comments. Tell me why that the Federal Reserve continues to buy $40 billion per month of mortgage-backed securities, providing artificial demand for mortgages, okay, vaulting the price of real estate into the stratosphere. And all we hear is people complaining about it, even our lovely politicians. Oh, are you watching the price of real estate? It's out of the reach of the average guy and average girl. Well, what would you expect when every single month without fail the Fed is buying $40 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities? Duh! Okay, so do you really believe the Fed wants to fight inflation? How about going to look at the Fed's balance sheet, okay? Just Go to a search engine, Federal Reserve balance sheet. Just click on it, last 6 months. Go look at last November. When they were supposed to have tapered, they tapered. Guess what, people? Zero. Gone straight up. The Fed's balance sheet continues to balloon. They continue to lie. I told you this morning that if you listen to Powell today, you would hear lie after distraction, after misinformation, after falsehoods. It's incredible. How about this? Our economy is very, very strong right now. Really? Is that why the Federal Reserve raised rates 0.25%? Oh, that's why, of course. Oh, yeah. And that's why we have people getting robbed blind. Even if you have a high-yield savings account that is paying you, let's say an American Express high-yield account, paying you 0.5% in an environment where you have near 8% inflation, you're being robbed blind. You're literally being robbed blind and lied to on an epic scale. So we have a Federal Reserve who continues to lie, continues to inflate, and will do so faster than ever before. Global debt is going to surge higher faster than we've ever seen before. Inflation is going to continue to skyrocket no matter what the Fed does with rate hikes, because again, it's not going to fix a damn thing. The Federal Reserve continues to inflate their balance sheet with no plans whatsoever to unwind it. Let me ask you, who's going to buy the debt anyway? How are they going to unwind the balance sheet? How about it can't happen? You understand? They're going to be holding that debt till maturity, and that's it. And look, this is the biggest freak show in the history of the world, and the lies just keep getting larger and freaking larger. Excuse me. My nose is itchy. So that's what rattled the market today. But let me put that into perspective. Yeah, sure. We had a slight sell-off. The Dow fell about 200 points, Dow Jones Industrial Average. The S&P 500 about the flat line. Nothing major going on here with the NASDAQ here. The dollar did get a knee-jerk higher, thinking that maybe rates are going to move higher faster. And even if it does happen, it won't make any difference. The market's going to price it in, as it always does. Market's going higher, okay? We just came off of 4 consecutive days of gains in this market. Started Tuesday, rally on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I even said yesterday in my markets a look ahead, I wouldn't be surprised to see the market sell off today, early in the week. We might even get a sell-off tomorrow. You know, look, the market put on, well over 1,000 points in 4 days. So we got to give some back a little bit in my view. And it's just, the market's going to shrug this all off. The market's going to shrug everything off, okay? We got commodity prices today turning around, ripping higher. Crude oil higher by over 7%, going much, much higher. Gold and silver turned around, both put on gains. Other commodities, again, turning around. People, listen to me. Start getting exposure to PBBC. That is a commodity exchange traded fund, or ETF. Oil and gas producers, if you are so inclined, you should look at defense contractors as well. I have it all listed on my website, traderschoice.net. It's all there for you. Go have a look at it. Go to Gregory Mannarino Stock Picks and just have a good old grand party. Anyway, people, so that's the story. The grand deception is that by raising rates, the Fed's going to fight inflation. The Federal Reserve has no intention of fighting inflation. They're going to continue to inflate. They can continue to buy mortgage-backed securities, $40 billion a month. There is no taper. There will be no taper, and the Fed will not be winding down its balance sheet. So you tell me, where's inflation going? Why hasn't anyone why are we, the American people, not holding the Federal Reserve to account? Because we have no representation. I dare you to write to your representative and ask them, hey, what are you going to do about this? When are you going to hold the Federal Reserve to account? First of all, they will have no idea of what you are talking about, okay? They're going to think you're some kind of conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, it's right in their face. Do you think maybe they would go look at the Federal Reserve's balance sheet and look for the so-called taper that never happened? Do you think they understand that the Federal Reserve is supplying artificial demand for mortgages by buying $40 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities? That the Federal Reserve's balance sheet is going to continue to inflate? And it's not just the Fed. This is a coordinated effort by central banks around the world. And you all know that too. Lovely. I'll tell you, people, nothing is what it seems to be. Oh, did you listen to Powell? He's blaming the war for inflation. Oh, it's the war. Oh, it's supply chain disruption. That's why we're going to have an energy crisis, an energy shortage, food shortages as well, because the sanctions are working so well. Let's see. We're telling nations that they can't buy normal staples that people would normally just consume here because we want to fight the war in Russia and Ukraine. And this is the way to do it. Oh, yeah. So everyone goes paying more for food all around the world, and gasoline can begin to skyrocket, energy and everything else. Lovely. You see, that's what happens when you have a brain-dead president that I'm referring to. Bidenstein. Frankenstein. All of them. And puppet Putin over there, too, playing right into the central banks. And then you had Christine Lagarde today. She's out there downplaying inflation. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well, she's a multi-gazillionaire. Won't bother her very much, will it now? How about no? People, make this stuff up. Please do it. Get a piece of paper and just start writing this stuff down. See if you can make up something better. I don't know. It can't happen. So yes, it does appear like we have a yield curve inversion here, and I don't pay any freaking attention to it. You know why? Because it don't matter. It don't matter. What is a yield curve inversion when shorter term yields are higher than longer term yields? And we've seen this before. All it tells us is that our economy is in free fall. Can I get a duh, please? Okay. If you follow this blog, you know the economy is in free fall, despite the fact that, look, you want to believe Yellow Stain Powell? Go ahead and believe him, because he said the economy was strong today. In fact, the economy is so strong that they did go ahead and raise the federal funds rate a whole 1/4%. Imagine my shock there. And they're continuing to rob people blind in an effort to prop up the stock market and in an effort to inflate the debt. That's it, people. We have nothing else going on. I really hope you understand. I'm just looking at some stuff that I wrote down. The lies, the propaganda, it's freaking believable here. Powell is so concerned about inflation, he's really going to take action this time. Really? Yeah, like no, it ain't happening, people, and you all know that too. We are really caught in some kind of an alternative reality, but it's very real, and it's getting very real for people as they continue to suffer under this scheme that is being propagated on the world. The war is part of it as well. Central banks doing nothing but inflate with no end in sight. Inflation skyrocketing, going to get a lot worse. Oh yeah, but your government, they really care about you. Like I said, just try to contact your representative who represents nothing. You are dog shit. You're in that big pot of stirring stew of stinking crap that they're brewing at the Federal Reserve, and they're trying to pour down your throat. You understand that, right? I hope you do. All right, people, look, so in summary here, you know exactly what's going on, and you know what to do about it. I mean, you got to take advantage of everything that comes your way here, really. I probably made a big mistake by not buying defense contractors when you could still buy them. They're going much higher, but as you all know, I didn't buy them because I felt, on moral grounds, I felt it wasn't the right thing to do. But in this freak show, yeah, I probably should have bought them. And I know those of you that did are actually smiling right now. Anyway, all right, people, look, I'm going to let you all go. We covered a lot of important stuff here. Please share the video. Please get it out there. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you. Could you really make any of this stuff up? Do you think you could do that? Or is this just so freaking out there that no one possibly could? All right, I will see all of you in the morning. I don't know what else to say here today other than I really love you guys and girls. I hope you're getting something out of these videos. I'm trying my hardest, and sometimes I freak out. I sincerely can only imagine what my blood pressure must be doing at times like this. Anyway, all right, I'm out of here. See you tomorrow.